The most profound truth in all of science is one that sounds like pure poetry. Every atom in your body, from the iron in your blood to the calcium in your bones and the carbon in your DNA, was forged inside the heart of a dying star. You are not just living in the universe. You are a piece of the universe that has come alive. The journey from the cold, silent dust of deep space to the complex, thinking being you are today is a 13.8 billion year odyssey. It is a story of cosmic recycling on a grand scale, where the death of one world provides the literal building blocks for the birth of the next. To understand this cosmic connection is to realize that we are connected to the furthest reaches of space and the deepest parts of time by a chain of chemistry that has never been broken. At the very beginning, during the first few minutes of the Big Bang, the universe was a simple place. It was filled almost entirely with hydrogen and helium, the two lightest and simplest elements. There was no oxygen to breathe, no carbon to form the basis of organic molecules, and no silicon to make the rocks of a planet. If the universe had stayed that way, it would have been a vast, sterile expanse of gas. But gravity began to pull these simple gases together, crushing them into the first generation of stars. These stars were the universe's first alchemists. Deep in their cores, the intense heat and pressure forced hydrogen atoms to fuse together, creating heavier elements. When these first massive stars reached the end of their lives, they didn't just fade away. They exploded as supernovae. In those final, violent seconds, the heat was so intense that it forged the rest of the periodic table, gold, silver, platinum, and uranium, and blasted them out into the void. This was the first seeding of the cosmos. The dust created by these explosions began to drift through space, gathering into massive cold clouds called nebulae. These nebulae are the stellar nurseries of the universe, and it is within one of these clouds, about 4.6 billion years ago, that our own story truly began. As our sun began to take shape at the center of a collapsing cloud of gas, a spinning disk of leftover dust and ice formed around it. This was the protoplanetary disk. In this chaotic environment, the dust wasn't just inert matter. It was the raw material for reality. Microscopic grains of silicate and metal began to stick together, growing into pebbles, then boulders, and eventually the rocky cores of planets like Earth. But a planet made only of rock is just a stage. It isn't yet a home. For life to emerge, the planet needed the seeds of organic chemistry, and these seeds were delivered from the furthest reaches of the solar system. During a period known as the Late Heavy Bombardment, Earth was pummeled by millions of comets and asteroids. These weren't just destructive missiles. They were delivery trucks. Comets are dirty snowballs, rich in water ice and complex organic molecules. Astronomers have recently discovered that many of these space rocks contain amino acids, the fundamental building blocks of proteins. By crashing into the young Earth, these celestial travelers brought the water for our oceans and the chemical kit necessary to start the engine of life. The dust of the stars had become the soup of the sea. The transition from chemistry to biology is the most mysterious part of the cosmic connection. Somewhere in the dark depths of the early oceans, perhaps near volcanic vents on the seafloor, these star-forged molecules began to interact in a new way. They began to replicate. They began to store information. This was the birth of the first cell. From that moment on, the story of life became a story of the earth and the sky working together. Plants learned to harvest the light of our star through photosynthesis, turning solar energy into the chemical energy that fuels almost all life on our planet. We are quite literally powered by the sun, but the connection goes even deeper than our energy. The very rhythm of our lives is tuned to the cosmos. Our 24-hour internal clock is a direct result of the Earth's rotation. The calcium that makes your bones strong was created in the explosions of white dwarf stars, while the iron that carries oxygen through your veins was forged in the final moments of red supergiants. When you look at your hand, you are looking at matter that has traveled across light years of space and survived the deaths of multiple stars. You are a walking, talking record of the history of the Milky Way. This realization changes how we see our place in the world. Often, we feel small and insignificant when we look at the vastness of space. We see the trillions of galaxies and the billions of years and feel like we are just an accident on a tiny speck of dust. But the cosmic connection tells us the opposite. We are the universe's way of observing itself. After billions of years of being simple dust, the universe has evolved a way to think, to feel, and to wonder about its own origin. We are the eyes of the cosmos. This connection also provides a profound sense of unity. Every human being on this planet, regardless of their nationality, religion, or background, is made of the exact same star stuff. We are all descendants of the same supernova and the same primordial nebula. The dust that makes up a tree, a mountain, or a distant nebula is the same dust that makes up you. In a very real sense, there is no us and them in the universe. There is only the ongoing transformation of matter and energy. As we look toward the future, we are beginning to use this understanding to search for our cousins in the stars. By looking for the same dust and chemical signatures in the atmospheres of distant exoplanets, we are trying to see if the cosmic connection has produced life elsewhere. We now know that the building blocks of life are everywhere. Amino acids have been found in the hearts of distant nebulae and on the surface of Mars. The universe is a vast garden, and the seeds have been scattered far and wide. The question is no longer if the ingredients are there, but how often they have managed to cook up something as complex as a civilization. The journey from dust to life also reminds us of our responsibility. We live on a planet that is a Goldilocks miracle, a place where the cosmic connection has been allowed to flourish for billions of years without being extinguished. We are the stewards of a rare and beautiful flame. Understanding that we are made of the universe makes the protection of our environment a cosmic duty. To poison our air or water is to poison a part of the universe that has spent eons trying to become conscious. As you go about your day, take a moment to consider the atoms inside you. Think about the iron in your blood and imagine it being squeezed together in the core of a massive star 10 times the size of the sun. Think about the water you drink and realize that it might have arrived on a comet from the outer edges of the solar system billions of years ago. You are a miracle of logistics and timing. You are the result of a perfectly tuned series of events that began with a flash of light and ended with your own heartbeat. The cosmic connection is the bridge that spans the impossible distance between the subatomic and the galactic. It proves that the heavens are not something far away and unreachable. They are the very fabric of our being. We are the survivors of the most violent events in history: supernova, planetary collisions, and asteroid impacts. We are the stardust that survived the fire. In the grand timeline of the universe, our lives are short, but our atoms are ancient. Long after we are gone, the atoms that make us up will continue their journey. They will be returned to the earth, and eventually, when the sun reaches the end of its life, they will be cast back into space to become part of a new nebula. Perhaps billions of years from now, a piece of you will be part of a new star, a new planet, or even a new form of life that is just beginning its own journey of discovery. The story of From Dust to Life is a story that never truly ends. It is a cycle of renewal that defines the nature of existence. It teaches us that nothing is ever truly lost. It is only rearranged. We are part of a cosmic symphony that has been playing since the beginning of time, and every one of us is a unique and essential note. By understanding our origin in the stars, we find our true home in the universe. We are not strangers in a strange land. We are the children of the cosmos, finally looking back at the fire that made us and recognizing it as our own. The next time you look up at the night sky, don't just see distant points of light. See your ancestors. See the factories that made you. And remember that the same gravity that holds the galaxies together is the gravity that keeps your feet on the ground. The universe is not a cold, empty place. It is a living process, and you are its most incredible achievement. From the first spark of the Big Bang to the first spark of a thought in your mind, the connection is unbroken. We are stardust, we are golden, and we have finally found our way back to the beginning.